Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to reading for the week of August 19th. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this moth spirit. It says, appreciate where you are in your journey instead of wishing it were easier or different. You have a stream catcher. It says, pay attention to the signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. I feel like I've said that to you before. So, if you are having dreams, messages, or, I would pay attention to sign symbols, synchronicities, all that other good stuff as well. Because again, I do feel like that's come up for you before, that your dreams could be telling you something, but maybe you feel like it's just a dream, or maybe you feel like it's not real. And so I think that, it's kind of like, pushing you to believe that, something is for you. You have the Two of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. The Two of Swords is kind of like this or that thinking. Everybody gets a Two of Swords nowadays, so I think that it's just kind of a card of the times here, Aquarius. I think it's just something that pretty much all of us are dealing with right now. We're all being pulled in a new direction. But, there might be some sort of resistance or a lack of connection to the new direction because she's thinking that her life can only be this or that. And I believe we're in a time where the universe is trying to get us to exceed our expectations or, to do better than we thought we could. So, that is this new island that's behind her. But she needs to, take that blindfold off and see that there's a new opportunity or just a different way of doing things. And, really, I think that is the cheat code for the next 10 years for everybody, not just you, Aquarius. But if you actually do it, then, what you can experience might blow your mind. You have the Nine of Pentacles. And sorry, this is a new deck, and I cannot get that off the table. So you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is kind of like independence or being very independent. It does look to me like you are in kind of like this independent time, just looking around here at all the cards that are showing up. You even have the Empress, and this is pre-Empress energy. It doesn't matter what gender you are. You could just be embracing the Empress, the energy of the Empress. The Nine of Pentacles, is about creating heaven on earth, and you also have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is kind of like everything you want and desire. So a lot of you, your focus could be on, kind of creating your own slice of heaven here on earth. The trick with the Nine of Pentacles is to focus on your environment. There's this snail right here. And the snail wears its home on its back, so it represents needing to make sure that you're creating an environment of success or doing things that can put you in an environment of success. This could be people, places, things, could be your habits as well. And so changing those things up with the Nine of Pentacles will get you closer to the Nine of Pentacles and probably the Ten of Pentacles. It's the next logical step on your journey. I do feel like you are moving at a snail's pace on something as well, definitely popping into my head. So some of you could be very slowly moving towards something. And what I would say is that the Page of Wands says that you probably could speed it up. The Page of Wands moves towards his enthusiasm. And so if you feel good about anything, I would move towards it. We even go up to the Page of Wands and the Four of Wands. This does not have to be love. The Four of Wands can be marriage, but it could just be you committing to new levels of freedom. The Four of Wands is really the card of freedom. And that's kind of what I feel for you, is that really you could be embracing the King of Wands energy, being bold, being assertive, really going for something that you want. And the Four of Wands would be like the commitment to the work that you put into something. Like, if you want more freedom, you could be creating a business or starting a side hustle, or you could be getting healthy, or whatever the case may be. I think that Four of Wands is talking about like the commitment that you are making. Of course, it could be love, but we'll see. With the Five of Swords, like I said, the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is definitely resistance. You have this card coming up that says hindrance on it, and I kind of feel, when I put that card down, I was getting more resistance, which I got in the Two of Swords as well. So I think that there is resistance to you seeing, another way of doing things, or just switching things up in your life, or making a change. Some of you, I feel like, are wondering, like, how can you make a change as well? So you might see what the Ten of Pentacles, you might already understand what the Ten of Pentacles is for you, but getting there, or how you're going to get there, it might be a little bit hard for you to see right now. The Five of Wands encourages you to just learn. Again, fives have very easy solutions in the tarot, and the solution of the Five of Wands is self-education, or just to learn about something that you want to do. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success, and it is also your focus. Again, the Nine of Pentacles, she has a falcon on her hand, and it represents the fact that she is training her focus. The Eight of Wands says you will get what you focus on, so I would make sure that you are focusing on, making yourself the Empress, right? Or focus on things that make you feel abundant or successful, or like you can have the things that you desire, and that's exactly what I would do here. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. Like I said, I feel like there is a spark here. I always say I love the Ace of Wands. To me, it's my favorite card in the tarot because I think it's just that one thing we need to get motivated. It's usually like that spark of life, the spark of hope, the spark of inspiration, just that one thing we need to stay motivated or to get motivated. But you have to keep putting, wood on that fire, right? You can have the spark, but you have to build that fire into something that can, kind of maintain itself. So I think for a lot of you, it's like you have a direction you want to move in or maybe something you want to commit to, but I feel there's like a need to throw some wood on the fire, right? Get that fire building. And I think I said this to someone else this week as well. I don't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure it might have been one of the water signs, either Pisces or Cancer. I can't remember who I said it to, but if you have Pisces or Cancer in your chart, I would definitely watch that reading because I think I said the same thing. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have the Black Cat card. It says your luck will change soon. You have this Hindrance card. It says fate has blocked this path for you. So again, something, Two of Swords, right? It's like something hasn't worked out, but there's something better behind her. There is a new place, that new island. That new island represents like something she's never experienced before. So I think you are being led to probably a harvest or some sort of celebration. You have the Three of Cups as your first card. And the Three of Cups can be a celebration, of course. It can be a reunion, but they are celebrating this harvest that's going on around them. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be harvesting something or increasing your abundance. We go this way down to the Ten of Pentacles. The King of Cups would kind of be something that your heart wants. The King of Cups is very connected to his emotions. So, whatever makes you emotional, but probably in a good way, is what you could be attracting with that King of Cups. You have the King of Wands here. Again, I think the King of Wands is talking about you needing to be bold, assertive, really going for something. You could be attracting a King of Wands or a King of Cups type person. They could be the same person, right? It could be like a fire sign with water. It could be like a water sign with fire or whatever. It could just be a fiery person. It could be any sign, and maybe they have very deep emotions or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to keep clarifying. But what I would say is, again, I think that this is more your energy. I think that it's like you have the gift of foresight. He is the visionary, so you might have very visionary ideas right here with the Two of Swords. And I feel like you need to manifest those ideas in the world. You have the Empress, which says that manifesting these new ideas will make you very successful. You have the Nine of Wands, and sorry, again, I cannot get these cards up, but the Nine of Wands, it says, don't give up, and the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So for those of you that do want love, you could be a little bit more closed off for, you could have been through negative experiences in the past. The Nine of Wands comes up and it does encourage you to open up, to something new. So I think that would be good for you. Also, amazing time for you to experiment as well. This is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I think that for a lot of you, it would be a great time for experimentation, trying new things. If you do have any visionary ideas or new ideas, I would just try them and see what happens, right? And see what works, see what doesn't, and go from there. And I feel the Nine of Wands is talking about that. With the Three of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, more boundaries. Like, we have two cards of boundaries in this row, Nine of Wands, Seven of Wands. The Nine of Wands is kind of about just putting up boundaries, and the Seven of Wands is a little bit different because it's really about drawing a line in the sand and setting expectations out up front. So going this direction, if you are meeting a person in love, for example, this could represent being very clear about your expectations or what you want out of a relationship. If this is same thing, like if you're getting a job or starting a business or whatever, it's like you need to spell things out up front so you know what you're getting into. Again, Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. That is laser-like focus. It's almost, to me, the Ace of Swords is a card of laser-like focus, but those two together are laser-like focus, understanding exactly what you're going to do if you're going to do something. And it looks like you are going to do something big here with the Ten of Pentacles, but the Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. So I would be very clear about what that looks like. With the King of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, if you are attracting love, I do like the Three of Pentacles. It's usually, Three of Pentacles is usually kind of like two people who want to work towards a common goal or basically want the same things and are willing to put the work in. This guy has created something of quality. So again, for those of you that want a connection, you have the Four of Wands here. It looks really good. If you don't want a connection, even if you do, Three of Pentacles says that your work speaks for itself. So if you are nervous, which I kind of feel here, like, I don't know if you're nervous or if you're just hesitating or whatever about, kind of like launching something into the world, or if you're like putting out a project or whatever. The Three of Pentacles says there's nothing to worry about. You have completed this already, or you are able to complete it to a high degree of accuracy. So put it out there. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Page of Wands again. So there's this like energy of needing to move towards your excitement. I do feel like something is exciting you here. And, the Page of Wands follows his enthusiasm, whatever makes him feel excited. And going this way, you go to the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is showing up in the good stuff, which, in the area of the good stuff, it's going to be good no matter what. Personally, I think the Eight of Cups is a good card anyway, because you're walking away from something that no longer serves you anyway. How is that a bad thing? It's not. But I would be very clear on your expectations in pretty much all areas of your life: work, business, career, love, your health, with yourself, right? All that other good stuff. In the area of messages from your future self, you have this Diligence card and this Delight card. So I feel like you are going to be very happy in the future. That Delight card is about like happiness, enjoying yourself, having a good time. I do feel like the Diligence card is saying, like, stay diligent and keep doing the things that you did to, be happy in the first place, right? It's like, I think people are really bad about this in relationships as well. Like, people get lazy, they stop doing what they did in the first place to maintain the relationship in the first place. And the Diligence card says, whatever you're entering into or whatever you are about to commit to, you have the Four of Wands here. It has the potential to be really good, but, pretty much any opportunity in life is only potential. We only have the potential to make it successful, whatever it is, whether it's love or otherwise, and we have to maintain it. And so the Four of Wands says true freedom comes from, the discipline. True freedom comes from the commitment, but also the discipline to keep it going. So I kind of get that message here on the Four of Wands. It's the same thing with business. It's like, I've worked with businesses since I was like 16 years old. And, what I would say is that, so many of them do get to a certain point and then they kind of like fall off. And when they fall off, they stop making money, right? So I've seen it a million times in my day. So I think for a lot of you, this is about kind of needing to commit to the discipline. That's where the true freedom comes from. You have the King of Cups here. King of Cups is about your attachment to your emotions, like how do you feel about things. He has explored his emotions to a very deep level, and because of that, he understands how he feels about everything, no matter what is going on around him, and he allows his positive feelings to be his guide. He is sitting here in choppy waters, and, it kind of represents the fact that, again, it doesn't matter what is going on around him. He is the one that is going to be in control about how he feels about what he's doing. So he doesn't need the circumstances or, he doesn't need things to be a certain way. He doesn't need anything external to be a certain way before he does something or for him to perfect something. Even in business, it's like I've heard it a million times where people are like, oh, well, the economy and all this other stuff. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what's going on with the economy or anything else. He makes it work. And I've definitely noticed over the years how there are like two types of people. There are people that make excuses for everything, and there are people who just don't care and they make it work, and those people are usually much more successful. So the King of Cups, he doesn't need a certain environment. He creates the environment inside of himself for success. And this isn't just about money. This is about everything in your life. He also has this boat here, and you have the Two of Swords with that new island. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you are about to explore something that is unknown to you. The boat on the King of Cups really represents exploring the unknown or going in a direction you've never gone in before. We even go up to the Eight of Cups, and we have the moon over here. So it's like both of these cards, they're showing up in the good stuff, which is good, but they both kind of represent the unknown, or they both kind of represent mysteries. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that no longer serves you, and he's walking into darkness, and he doesn't really, it kind of represents that he doesn't know if he's going to find true fulfillment or not, but he just knows that he can't stay in something that isn't right for him because he's cheating himself. The moon is also about walking into darkness, and it's about working through something, through the fears, the fantasies, the illusions, and not knowing whether or not something is real or not. The fool just knows if he stays on his journey, the moon comes up, moon goes down, the sun comes up. So, he knows there will be clarity if he keeps going one foot in front of the other. You have the Empress, so very attractive at this time, Aquarius. For those of you that do want love, I would definitely get out there. The Empress is a card of getting attention for me, so anything you can do. And you also have the Three of Pentacles as well. Three of Pentacles also about getting attention. So this doesn't even have to be you. Again, if you're like working on a project or something, making it look beautiful or making it look nice will attract more attention on whatever it is you're doing. With the Four of Wands, what do you know? You have the Queen of Cups, King and Queen of Cups here, divine counterparts. Definitely could be a very solid connection, a very emotionally based connection as well. And again, I like to remind people that the King of Cups type person, it's not like they're crying on your shoulder every single night, right? This is not like a overly negatively emotional person. This is someone who has their emotions in check. This person might never cry. And, sometimes I think the King of Cups comes off as having no emotion, but that's not true. It's like they have explored their emotions to such a deep degree that they know how to handle their emotions, really. But again, those two together, very good connection. With the King of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords. I would say that either again, I'm going to put it both ways. If you want love, I feel like you're attracting a very focused person, really. I mean, this person literally, we have all this stuff about focus, and it's like you literally could be attracting a person who is teaching you about focus or how to see through the fog, right? How to see through the illusions. I also feel like this just could be you, I think you've had several readings with me where I talk about making decisions and focusing. You always get the Seven of Cups with me. You don't have it here, which is good. And, even if it does show up, who cares? But what I would say is you get these readings that kind of represent needing to see through the illusion, right? The Seven of Cups is up here. He needs to bring it down here to figure out what's really going to happen. With the Empress, you have the Fool card. We talked about the Fool because the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. And again, the Moon just says he needs to kind of move forward no matter what. The Fool could also be about you taking a risk or taking some sort of leap of faith in your life. And so I think that it would be a great time for you to take a leap of faith. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card. This new moon in Leo, it says confidence is your key. Definitely, King of Wands for sure. I think you are embracing that confident, bold, assertive energy. You have this new moon in Gemini. It says communication is key. That new moon in Gemini kind of tells me, for those of you looking for love, it's like you could be attracting someone who's very different than your usual type, or you could be attracting a person where there are differences, and I think that you can easily communicate through these things. It's funny because I think on the last Aquarius reading, it's like someone asked me, they're like, is Aquarius and Aquarius a good match? And I always say, to me, sun sign compatibility is BS in the first place. It's I know so many people that have been happily married forever, for many, many years, that do perfectly fine. My parents have been married forever, and they are Leo and Taurus, which is two fixed signs, right? But they communicate. They work together. It's I don't think sun sign compatibility means basically anything. It's if you can just find a person who, respects you, you respect them, and you communicate, there's nothing to worry about, right? So, but I get that on that Gemini card. It's you could be attracting someone. I don't know. It's you could be attracting a Cancer, because I said Cancer earlier or whatever, and you have this King of Cups here as well. And it's is Cancer and Aquarius a good match? Maybe not, but at the same time, it's if you can communicate with this person, I don't think it matters. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. And again, I think coming up in the good stuff, this would say you're walking towards a lot more fulfillment in your life. You have the moon, and again, I kind of feel like something is becoming clear because, again, the moon in the good stuff would say that something is becoming clear to you or you are gaining clarity. I also think you're balancing yourself out. This dog and the wolf, the dog and the coyote, whichever you prefer, kind of represents your domestic side and your wild side. And I feel like this is saying that you are balancing those two sides of yourself out, and this is allowing you to be successful. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. Everybody gets the Ten of Pentacles nowadays. I think it's Uranus and Taurus, personally. If I were to attach this card to astrology, that's not what it represents in astrology, but I'm just saying. The energy of it, I think, is very Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is all about freedom, becoming more free, and things like that. So the Ten of Pentacles is kind of having it all. I also think Uranus and Taurus pushes us to build or leave a legacy, do something bigger in your life. And I think a lot of you are being pushed to do something more or bigger in your life. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Wands here. Yeah, we see a lot of Wands energy, like a lot of expansion, growth, learning. So the Three of Wands says that you are heading towards major fulfillment. With the Moon card, you have the Moon card. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Whenever a card repeats itself, it's just, the universe saying I meant what I said. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Pentacles. It's funny that I also said that thing about potential earlier. It's like you're being presented with an opportunity where it will grow as much as you allow it, right? So if you can get out of your own way and allow something to grow, then I think that will lead to the most success for you. I also think that there is a big focus here on you really focusing on yourself and like working on yourself. It's like one of the things that popped into my head earlier that I didn't say is like sometimes I think in relationships, it's like people will say something where they're like, I need this person to do this so I can feel this way, right? And so it's like that's what I think ruins a lot of relationships. Like, oh, if only my partner would, do X, Y, Z. But it's like, why don't you do it, right? And I kind of get that feeling here where it's like, if you enter into a relationship here and I know it's hard sometimes, right? When you're with a person, even I feel like I'm speaking to someone who is in a relationship as well. Like if you're with a person who's like a decent person, but maybe they do some things that annoy you. I think if you could I'm not saying blame yourself, right? That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is like, if you could turn the focus in on yourself and just say like, it annoys me when they lay around on the couch all day or whatever. But instead of getting upset about that, if you could just say like, why is they work all week? Why is them being lazy on the weekend bothering me, right? Instead of doing that, it's like you could do something to change the situation, right? And I feel like the Ace of Pentacles, like I said, it's not saying like blame yourself, but I think it's saying don't let someone else like be the person who decides your emotions, right? It's like when we do that, I think that's what we're doing. We're like saying, I need these external circumstances to change for me to be okay, which is understandable. Again, most people do this, right? But I think if you could say like, okay, I need to change something inside of me, then you'll probably fix the problem. You have this Principal card. Again, it's weird. I do feel like you are attracting someone who's very different. I don't know. There's a sun and a moon on this card. And like normally stuff like this would not work out, right? But for whatever reason, maybe it does. Again, you could be attracting a person who's like very evolved or who has done a lot of work on themselves. So it's like if they were low vibrational, totally wouldn't work. But I think maybe you're attracting someone, if you want love, that has principles, has morals, has ethics. But I also think that maybe they're like more evolved, so maybe they don't care what you do. Maybe they don't care if you lay around on the couch all day, right? You have this Fulfillment card. The whole entire reading was about fulfillment. We said it at the end that, it seems to me like there's a lot of fulfillment or you feeling more fulfilled here. You have this Assertion card. The whole entire reading also talks about being assertive. You literally had that card that said confidence is your key to success. So I think like I said on the King of Wands, be bold, be assertive, go for what you want, and you will get it, plain and simple. You have this Originality card. We are entering into the time of Aquarius for sure. Pluto going into Aquarius, like you are going to be the change agent over the next 20-something years or 19-something years, whatever it is. So I think that, a lot of you embracing your original ideas or trying things that are original would be a good idea. And finally, you have this Influence card. Yeah, if you are getting into something, I would be careful of external influences. I pretty much already said this. So again, if you are in a connection, it's like I would be careful of allowing your friends to, tell you to divorce your husband or something like that because they don't really know what's going on. I have a rule. Like, unless I'm willing to invite a person into my bedroom with me and my partner, then I do not listen to what they say, right? So, that's what I would say here. Maybe you need to follow that rule. I would also say if you're meeting a new person, then you need to make sure that there are no external influences getting in the way of you and that person. So again, I think that a lot of you could be, kind of like needing to do that at this time. But this looks really, really good, Aquarius. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.